Christmas morning started normal. My wife, Angela, our daughter Sophie, 8 years old, and me sitting around the tree. Hot chocolate, pajamas, the whole domestic scene. I handed Angela her last gift, small box. She opened it. DNA ancestry kit. Her face went white. What is this? Ancestry DNA thing. Thought it'd be fun. I got one for me too and one for Sophie. We can see our genetic backgrounds, find relatives, all that stuff. I'd been genuinely excited about this. My buddy at work had done one. Found out he was 30% Scandinavian, connected with a second cousin in Norway. Seemed cool. Angela was staring at the box like it might explode. We're not doing this. What? Why nods? Because I don't want to. It's just spit in a tube. Takes 2 minutes. I said no. Sophie looked confused. Mom, I want to see if I'm a princess. Jamie at school said her DNA test said she's related to royalty. You're not doing it either. But Mom? I said no. The sharpness in her voice made Sophie's eyes water. Angela never snapped at Sophie. Never. I stepped in. Hey, it's okay. It's just a gift. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Angela stood up, went to the kitchen. I followed. What's wrong? Nothing. I just think those tests are invasive. They sell your data. It's a privacy issue. Okay, we don't have to do them. Good. But I'm going to do mine. I already bought it. Her head snapped toward me. No. What? You're not doing it either. I laughed. Angela, it's my DNA. I can do what I want with it. If you send that test in, I'm divorcing you. I stopped laughing. What did you just say? You heard me. Family secrets stay secret. If you care about this marriage, you won't send it in. Family secrets? What family secrets? That's exactly why they stay secret. You don't need to know. I stared at her. My wife of 9 years, mother of my daughter, was standing in our kitchen on Christmas morning threatening divorce over a DNA test. That's insane. That's my boundary. Angela, I'm serious. You send it in, we're done. Then she walked out. I stood there holding my hot chocolate, watching it get cold. Something was very, very wrong. That night after Sophie went to bed, I tried again. Can we talk about this morning? There's nothing to talk about. I don't want those tests in our house. You threatened to divorce me over a DNA test. I was being dramatic. Were you? She looked at me. Don't send it in, please. Just respect my wishes on this. Why? Because I'm your wife and I'm asking you not to. That's not a reason, that's an ultimatum. Call it what you want, just don't do it. I wanted to push, wanted to demand answers, but she was shutting down, stone-faced, defensive. I'd never seen her like this. Okay, I said, I won't send it in. She relaxed, thank you. Then she went to bed. I stayed up. Here's the thing, I'm not a naturally suspicious person. I don't go through phones, don't track locations. Our marriage had been good, normal, no major fights, regular date nights, good communication. Until that morning, one DNA test turned my wife into a stranger. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I sent my test in the next day. Not to be petulant, not to catch her doing something, but because a reaction that extreme meant there was something worth finding. And I wasn't going to sit around in ignorant bliss waiting for a bomb to go off. If there were family secrets, I had a right to know them, to know them, especially if they involved me. I mailed it from work, registered it online, waited. 2 weeks later, Angela asked about the test. Did you throw it away? Yeah, I lied. Threw it out. Good. Another week passed. Results came in. I was at work when I got the email. Logged into the portal. Looked at my ethnicity breakdown. 45% Irish, 30% German, 15% English, 10% Scandinavian. Cool. Then I checked the DNA relatives section. Top match, Sophie Anderson. Predicted relationship, aunt, uncle, niece, nephew, or half-sibling or grandparent, grandchild. I stared at those options. Not daughter, not parent-child. I clicked for more details. Shared DNA, 1,750 centimeters. I Googled it, found a chart. Parent-child, 3,500 centimeters. Uncle-niece, 1,700 to 2,100 centimeter. Half-sibling, 1,1300 to 2,300 centimeters. Grandparent-grandchild, 1,300 to 2,200 centimeters. At 1,750 centimeters, the most likely was uncle-niece, but it could also be half-sibling or grandparent-grandchild. I worked through the logic. Grandparent-grandchild? No. My parents and Angela's parents were accounted for. Sophie couldn't be my parents' child. That would make her my half-sister, and we'd know if my mom had given birth 8 years ago. Half-sibling? Possible if my dad had another child with someone else. But that would mean no. That didn't make sense. The affair would have had to be with Angela, which would make Sophie my half-sister and Angela's daughter, which was impossible genetically. Uncle-niece? That meant Sophie's biological parent was one of my siblings. But Angela gave birth to her. I was there, so Sophie's father had to be my brother or one of my male cousins. I felt sick, went to the bathroom, locked the door, sat on the floor. 8 years. 8 years of being Sophie's dad. 8 years of thinking she was mine. I pulled out my phone, looked at my close male relatives. My brother lived in Seattle, hadn't visited in years. I had 3 male cousins, 2 lived out of state. 1 lived 20 minutes away. Ryan. I pulled up his Facebook, scrolled through photos. There was one from 2 months ago, family barbecue at his place. Sophie was in the background, standing next to Ryan, both of them laughing. They had the same smile, same exact smile. How had I never noticed? I zoomed in, same nose, same eyebrow shape, same goddamn dimple on the left cheek. I looked at more photos. Birthday parties, Christmas from 3 years ago, Thanksgiving. Every photo with Ryan and Sophie together, they looked related because they were. I threw up in the toilet. When I got home that night, Angela was making dinner. How was work? Fine. I watched her, looked for signs, guilt, nervousness, anything. Nothing. She was humming, stirring pasta, normal. Sophie's at soccer practice. Your mom picked her up. Cool. I went upstairs, logged into Angela's laptop. We shared passwords, always had. No secrets was our thing. Apparently that was a lie. Checked her email, nothing obvious. Checked her Facebook messages. Nothing with Ryan except normal family stuff. See you at Easter. Thanks for having us over. Checked her phone records online through our shared account. No unusual calls to Ryan. She'd been careful. That made it worse somehow. Over the next week I investigated. I'm the kind of person who keeps records. Paper statements going back years filed in our home office. Angela always thought it was excessive. Why keep old bank statements? Everything's online. Turns out, online systems only go back 2 years. Paper statements? Forever. I pulled out the box labeled 2016, 2017, found our credit card statements from 9 years ago, flipped through February. There it was. The Riverside Inn. 3 different charges. February 12th, 19th, 24th. All when I'd been at a conference in Boston. I remembered that conference. 3 days. Software development thing. Angela had said she'd be fine alone. It's just 3 days, she'd said. Go network, have fun. I looked at the hotel charges. February 12th, February 19th, February 24th. 3 visits, 3 nights. All to a hotel 15 minutes from our house when we live 20 minutes from downtown. Why go to a hotel when you have a house? Unless you need privacy. Cross-referenced with Ryan's social media, had to scroll back years, found his gym check-ins. He'd posted from the Riverside Inn's gym, February 12th and February 24th. Getting that grind in even on the road. He wasn't on the road, he lived here. Found more old text messages in my backup drive. From 9 years ago, Angela had texted me while I was in Boston. Ryan stopped by to drop off the thing from your mom. Stayed for coffee. He's so funny lol. At the time, I'd thought nothing of it. Ryan bringing something from my mom, normal family stuff. Now I saw it differently. Ryan visiting while I was out of town. Stayed for coffee. For how long? An hour? 3 hours? Overnight? I checked her text history from that week. She'd texted me every night. Miss you. Hope the conference is good. Sophie's asleep, just watching TV. Lies. Casual, easy lies. Sent from our couch while I was 800 miles away thinking everything was fine. I hired a private investigator. His name was Marcus, former cop. Came recommended from a guy I'd helped with some IT work. Cost $3,000 for 2 weeks of surveillance. Marcus followed Angela. Documented her days. Most of it was normal. Work, grocery store, gym, home. But then, 2 Thursdays into surveillance, Angela met Ryan for lunch. Downtown. Italian place. Corner booth. Marcus got photos. 15 of them. They weren't touching, weren't kissing. But the body language was there. Leaning in, laughing. Angela touching her hair. Something she did when she was flirting. I'd noticed it when we were dating. In one photo, Ryan's hand was on the table near hers. Not holding, just near. Marcus's report said, subjects appeared comfortable with each other. Interaction seemed more intimate than familial. No overt physical contact, but significant indicators of emotional connection. I stared at those photos for hours. I asked him to do a paternity test. I need DNA from the child and the potential father. How do I get that? Get creative. Next Sunday, we went to my mom's for dinner. Ryan was there. I asked him to help me move something in the garage. He drank from a water bottle, left it on the workbench. I pocketed it later. Sophie's DNA I got from her toothbrush. Sent both to the lab the PI recommended. Results came back in 5 days, 99.99% probability of paternity. Ryan was Sophie's biological father. I sat in my car in a parking lot and cried for an hour. Then I called a lawyer. Her name was Patricia Chen. Mid-40s, sharp suit, sharper eyes, came highly recommended by a colleague who'd gone through a messy divorce. Her office was downtown, glass walls, law books everywhere. Degree from Stanford on the wall. I need to divorce my wife. She cheated 9 years ago with my cousin. Our daughter is biologically his. Patricia didn't even blink. Do you have proof? DNA tests. 2 different labs. I slid the folders across her desk. Ancestry DNA showing Sophie as my niece. Independent paternity test showing Ryan as her father. 99.99% certainty. She reviewed the documents, nodded. This is solid. Does she know you know? No. Good. Keep it that way. The element of surprise is valuable. When do you want to file? Soon, but I want to serve her publicly. At our family reunion, July 4th. Patricia looked up. That's 6 weeks out. Why wait? Because Ryan will be there. I want to serve him too. Civil suit, and I want my entire family to see what they did. That's bold. Legal, but bold. Are you sure you want to go nuclear like that? Absolutely. All right, let's talk about what we're filing. She pulled up a laptop, started typing. Petition for dissolution of marriage, citing adultery as grounds. In this state, that affects asset division favorably for you. You'll get a bigger share of marital property. What about the house? Who's on the mortgage? Both of us. We'll request she be removed and you buy out her share or force a sale and split proceeds. Given the adultery, judge will likely let you keep it if you can afford her half. I can. Good. Now custody. This is complicated. Sophie thinks you're her father. You're on the birth certificate, but biologically, Ryan is the father. I want full custody. Do you want to terminate Ryan's potential parental rights? He doesn't have any rights. He's not on the birth certificate. He never claimed paternity. True. But if he petitions the court, he could argue for rights based on biological relationship. Can we block that? Yes. You've been the presumed father for 8 years. Courts heavily favor established parent-child relationships over biological relationships in these cases. If Ryan wants rights, he'll have to fight you for them, and he'll lose. Good. Patricia typed more notes. For the civil suit against Ryan, we're looking at intentional infliction of emotional distress and fraud. The fraud is tricky. He didn't directly lie to you, but he concealed material information. The emotional distress is stronger. You can demonstrate psychological harm from discovering the affair and paternity. How much can I sue for? I'd recommend $250,000. High enough to hurt, low enough to be believable. He'll try to settle. They always do. Perfect. We spent the next hour going through details. Asset lists, Sophie's school records, character witnesses, everything I'd need to win. Custody was complicated. Sophie thought I was her father. Legally, I was her father. I was on the birth certificate. But biologically, I wasn't. Do you want custody? Patricia asked. I want Sophie to have stability. I've been her dad for 8 years. I'm not abandoning her because of Angela's choices. Noble, but expensive. You'll be paying child support for a child that's not biologically yours. I don't care. Sophie didn't do anything wrong. Patricia nodded. All right, we'll file for divorce, cite adultery, and request joint custody. In this state, if you're on the birth certificate and have acted as the father, you have parental rights regardless of biology. What about Ryan? What about him? Does he have rights? Not unless he petitions for them. And if he does, you can contest it. You've been the father for 8 years. Courts favor established parent-child relationships. Good. We strategized that day, built the entire case, gathered all evidence. When do you want to file? Patricia asked. Not yet. I want to wait. For what? My family has a reunion every year. 4th of July weekend, my mom's side, about 60 people, big park pavilion, catered food, whole thing. And Ryan always comes. I want to serve them both there, in front of everyone. Patricia nodded slowly. That's 5 months away. You'll have to live with her, pretend everything's normal for 5 months. I know. Can you do that? I have to. Those 5 months were the hardest of my life. Coming home to Angela every day, kissing her hello, eating dinner together, watching TV, pretending I didn't know she'd destroyed our family. She planned Sophie's 9th birthday party. I helped blow up balloons. She talked about summer vacation. I nodded along. She kissed me goodnight. I kissed back. All while knowing the truth. All while planning her public exposure. Late May, 6 weeks before the reunion, we finalized everything. Patricia filed the divorce papers. Got them ready for service. I confirmed with the process server. You'll serve her there, in front of everyone? If that's what you want, it's legal, that's what I want. And him? He pointed to Ryan's name on my notes. Separate papers. Paternity fraud civil suit. Serve him right after you serve her. This is going to be quite the show. That's the point. The weeks leading up were surreal. Angela had no idea. She was planning Sophie's birthday party, talking about our summer vacation plans. Being a normal wife, I played along, kissed her goodbye in the mornings, had dinner together, watched TV at night, all while knowing she'd destroyed our marriage 9 years ago and let me believe a lie every single day since. The rage was constant, but I kept it buried, cold, controlled. 4th of July came. We arrived at the park at 1 p.m. Angela was wearing a sundress. Sophie had a sparkler. Everything was festive. Ryan was already there, flipping burgers on the grill. Hey man, he gave me a bro hug. How's it going? Great, you? Can't complain. I wanted to break his jaw. Instead, I smiled. Burgers look good. Thanks. Angela and Sophie went to say hi to my mom. I stayed near Ryan. So Sophie's getting big, Ryan said casually. Yeah, she's 8 now. 8. Time flies. Sure does. She looks more like you every day. I stared at him. You think so? Oh yeah, same expressions. He was lying to my face, just like Angela. At 3 p.m. my phone buzzed. Text from the process server, in position. I texted back, go. 5 minutes later, a man in a polo shirt approached Angela. She was standing with my aunt and mom, holding a plate of potato salad. Angela Montgomery? Yes, you've been served. He handed her an envelope. She looked confused, opened it, started reading. Her face went white, same white as Christmas morning. What is this? Everyone was staring now. Petition for dissolution of marriage, I said loudly. I'm divorcing you. The whole pavilion went silent. What? Why? Read page 3, the part about adultery. She flipped pages, started reading, then looked up at me, then at Ryan. Ryan hadn't noticed yet. He was still at the grill. The process server walked over to him next. Ryan Montgomery? Ryan turned. Yeah? You've been served. He took the envelope, opened it. His face changed. What the hell is this? That's a civil suit for paternity fraud and intentional infliction of emotional distress, I said. You're being sued for $250,000. What? I walked to the center of the pavilion. Everyone was watching now. My mom, my aunts and uncles, my cousins. All 60 people. Since we're all here, I said, I thought this was a good time to share some family news. Angela and Ryan had an affair 9 years ago. Sophie is Ryan's biological daughter, not mine. DNA test confirmed it. I've known for 6 weeks, and now everyone else knows too. Silence. Then my mom, what? Sophie is Ryan's daughter, not mine. Sophie, who'd been playing with her cousins, came running over. Daddy, what's wrong? I knelt down, looked at her. This kid I'd raised, loved, read bedtime stories to, taught to ride a bike. Not my blood, but mine in every way that mattered. Nothing, sweetheart. Daddy just has some adult stuff to handle. Go play, okay? Okay? She ran back to the other kids. Angela was crying. How could you do this here, in front of everyone? How could I? I stood up. How could you? 9 years, Angela. 9 years of lying to my face, letting me raise another man's child thinking she was mine. I was going to tell you, when, at her high school graduation? Ryan stepped forward. Look, man, don't. I pointed at him. Don't say a word. You're my cousin. You were at our wedding. You held my daughter, your daughter, at the hospital and looked me in the eye and said, she's beautiful, congrats. You've been lying to me for 8 years. I didn't know for sure. Bullshit. You knew. You both knew. My uncle grabbed Ryan's arm. You did what? Ryan tried to pull away. It was a mistake. A mistake? I laughed. A mistake is forgetting someone's birthday. This is betrayal. This is fraud. This is destroying a family. My mom was crying now. Angela, how could you? Angela couldn't look at her. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You're not sorry you did it, I said. You're sorry you got caught. I turned to face everyone. I'm filing for full custody. I'm keeping my daughter because I'm her father. Biology be damned. Ryan can petition for rights if he wants, but I doubt he will because he's a coward. Angela gets supervised visitation until we figure out what's best for Sophie. And if anyone in this family has a problem with how I handled this, you can leave now. No one moved. I looked at my mom. I'm sorry I did this at the reunion, but I wanted everyone to know what they did. No more secrets. No more lies. She nodded, came over, hugged me. Then my aunts came over, then my uncles. One by one, my family surrounded me. Angela stood alone. Ryan's dad grabbed him. Get out, now. Dad. I said, get out. Ryan left, didn't even look at Sophie. Angela tried to come toward me. My cousin blocked her. You need to leave too. That's my daughter. That's his daughter, my mom said. You made your choice 9 years ago. Live with it. Angela grabbed her purse, looked at Sophie one more time. Sophie waved. Angela started crying harder. Then she left. I stood there, surrounded by my family, and felt the weight lift. The secret was out. The truth was known. And I wasn't carrying it alone anymore. Sophie came running back. Daddy, where's Mommy? She had to go home, honey. She's not feeling well. Oh, can we have cake now? Yeah, let's get you some cake. We stayed at the reunion for 3 more hours. Everyone wanted to check on me, tell me they supported me, condemn what Angela and Ryan had done. My uncle apologized for Ryan. I raised him better than this. It's not your fault. Still, he's my son. I'm ashamed. When we got home that night, I put Sophie to bed, read her 2 stories, tucked her in. Daddy? Yeah, sweetie? Did Mommy and you have a fight? Sort of. Are you getting divorced? Kids are too smart. Yeah, we are. Is it because of me? No, never. This has nothing to do with you. Mommy and Daddy just can't be married anymore. But I'll always be your dad. That won't change. Promise. Promise. She hugged me. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Sophie. The divorce took 6 months, 6 brutal months. Angela fought for custody, hired an aggressive lawyer. Guy named Steve something, slicked back hair, expensive suit, the kind of lawyer who bills $400 per hour to send emails. Her strategy was to paint me as unstable, vindictive. A man who humiliated his wife in public. At the first hearing, Steve stood up. Your Honor, my client made a mistake 9 years ago. One mistake, for which Mr. Montgomery has punished her in the most cruel, calculated way possible. He served divorce papers at a family reunion in front of 60 people, including their 8-year-old daughter. Patricia stood. Your Honor, my client discovered that his wife had been lying to him for 8 years about the paternity of his child. He had every right to be angry. The method of service was dramatic, yes, but it was legal. And frankly, Mrs. Montgomery's affair with Mr. Montgomery's cousin, at family gatherings in their shared home, while lying to him about it, is far more cruel than any public service of papers. The judge, a woman named Henderson, looked at Angela. Mrs. Montgomery, is it true you had an affair with your husband's cousin? Yes, but, and you never told him? I was going to. When? The child is 8 years old. Angela looked at her lawyer. He whispered something. I thought it was best for everyone if it stayed private, Angela said. Judge Henderson wrote something down. We'll address custody in the next hearing. For now, temporary custody remains with Mr. Montgomery. Mrs. Montgomery gets supervised visitation. Next. That was hearing 1. Hearing 2, Angela's lawyer brought character witnesses, her friends, her co-workers, all talking about what a great mom she was. Angela volunteers at Sophie's school, one friend said. She's room mom. She makes cupcakes for every birthday. She loves that little girl. Patricia cross-examined. Did Mrs. Montgomery ever mention who Sophie's father was? Well, her husband. Did she ever tell you that Sophie was actually her husband's cousin's child? No. So she lied to you too? Objection. Sustained. Rephrase, Miss Chen. Did Mrs. Montgomery tell you the truth about Sophie's paternity? No. No further questions. Every witness, Patricia did the same thing. Established that Angela had lied to everyone, for years. Hearing 3 was about my fitness as a parent. Angela claimed I was too angry, too bitter, that I'd poisoned Sophie against her. Her lawyer called me to the stand. Mr. Montgomery, do you hate your wife? Ex-wife. And no, I'm disappointed and hurt, but I don't hate her. But you humiliated her publicly. I revealed the truth publicly. There's a difference. You don't think serving papers at a family reunion was excessive? I think having an affair with my cousin and lying about my daughter's paternity for 8 years was excessive. Serving papers at a reunion was just efficient. People in the gallery laughed. The judge didn't smile, but I saw her eyes crinkle. No further questions. Patricia called Sophie's teacher. "Miss Rodriguez, how is Sophie doing in school?" "She's thriving, top of her class, well-adjusted, happy." "Has she mentioned any problems at home?" "No, she talks about her dad all the time. My dad helped me with my science project. My dad took me to the zoo. She adores him." "And her mother?" "She mentions her too, but less frequently." "Why do you think that is?" Objection. Speculation. I'll allow it. I think Sophie lives primarily with her father now. It's natural she'd talk more about the parent she spends the most time with. Patricia nodded. No further questions. The final hearing was about assets. We had a house worth $320,000 with $180,000 left on the mortgage. 2 cars, retirement accounts, savings. Patricia argued for 70-30 split in my favor due to the adultery. Angela's lawyer argued for 50-50. Judge Henderson split the difference, 60-40 in my favor. I got the house, had to refinance and buy out Angela's share, $48,000. Paid it from my retirement account. I got the newer car, she got the older one. Retirement account split 60-40. Custody, primary physical custody to me. Angela got visitation every other weekend and 1 weeknight per week. Supervised for the first year, then unsupervised if a therapist approved. Child support, Angela had to pay me $400 a month. Not much, given her salary, but it helped cover Sophie's expenses. My lawyer had warned me, she'll probably argue she can't afford it, but the court will impute income based on her earning capacity. She's an employed adult, she pays. And she did. The judge's final words. "Mr. Montgomery, you are Sophie's legal father. Biology is irrelevant. You've raised her, loved her, and provided for her. That makes you her father in the eyes of this court. Mrs. Montgomery, you made choices that hurt your family. You'll have to live with the consequences. But I'm ordering both of you to attend co-parenting therapy. Sophie deserves parents who can work together regardless of their personal feelings." Petition granted. Marriage dissolved. Bang. Gavel. Done. Ryan tried to petition for rights. My lawyer buried him in paperwork, made it so expensive and complicated that he gave up. Last I heard, he moved out of state. Doesn't see Sophie. Sends birthday cards with $20 in them. Angela remarried 2 years later. Some guy she met at her gym. He seems okay. Sophie likes him. I'm not remarried. Dated a few people. Nothing serious. I'm focused on Sophie. She's 10 now, smart as hell, plays soccer, loves reading, wants to be a veterinarian. She asks about the divorce sometimes. I keep it simple. Your mom and I weren't right for each other, but we both love you. She doesn't know Ryan's her biological father. Maybe I'll tell her when she's older. Maybe I won't. Depends on what's best for her. As for the lawsuit against Ryan, we settled out of court. He paid $50,000. Not the $250,000 I asked for, but enough to fund Sophie's college savings. Angela's family cut her off for a while. Her parents were mortified. Eventually they reconciled, but it's not the same. My family? They still bring it up at reunions. Remember that 4th of July when? It's become a legend. The day I publicly exposed an affair and paternity fraud in front of 60 people while burgers were burning on the grill. Would I do it again? Hell yes. Some people think I was cruel, that I should have handled it privately, protected Angela's dignity. But Angela didn't protect me. Didn't protect our marriage. Didn't protect Sophie from growing up in a house built on lies. She made her choices. I just made sure everyone knew what they were. And Sophie? She's thriving. Happy. Loved. She calls me Dad. Not because of DNA, because I earned it. That's the lesson in all this. Biology matters, but choices matter more. Angela chose to cheat. Ryan chose to betray family. I chose to fight for my daughter. And I won. The DNA test didn't destroy my family. It revealed the destruction that was already there. Hidden behind Christmas mornings and family barbecues and no secrets promises that were all lies. Now there are no more secrets, no more lies, just truth. And that's worth more than any illusion of a perfect family ever was.